What's up, guys? So we've got an extra special episode of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Show today for our Christmas special. So I'm going to quickly go around the table. Everyone's going to give a quick introduction of who's going to be on the show.
What's going on? Obviously, it's Dan and Nate from the Sanctum Squad. Nate's back off his annual leave. He's come to drop some knowledge, and we're joined by two of my favourite people in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Sphere.
Yep, it's Jamofi YGO making a return after a couple of weeks, so it's great to be back, gents. Thanks for having me.
No worries. Jamofi.
And it's your boy Tom. I was on the last episode of this podcast, and I'm back. I don't know why I'm back, but I'm back.
you do be here. You do be here.
I really do be existing. That is factually correct.
So yeah, we've got a lot of special topics planned, but I think probably one of the best things to go in for is actually we're going to go back to talking about the remote duel YCS that happened. Was it last week? It was last week, right? Or the week before?
It was the one we didn't know about, Fab. So
yeah. Whenever it happened, guys.
Yeah, whenever it happened, yeah.
One thing that Dan mentioned, which was quite interesting, was the finals itself. So Christian Urena actually got given a win because his opponent was awarded a match loss during the game. Now, what supposedly happened is during remote duel, you're not allowed to. So obviously, you're looking at each other's. You can look at each other playing because you have to kind of keep your hands in sight at all time. Now, during his opponent playing Flunder throughout the tournament, multiple times when shuffling his deck, accidentally revealed his deck to the camera. This is a procedural error that you're not allowed to do. Now, he was given a warning a couple of times throughout the tournament. Then he did this again during the finals, and so the head judges took a while to deliberate and allowed them to carry on playing, which unfortunately meant that when they got into their next game, the Flunder player was given, I keep saying the Flunder player so bad, I don't remember the guy's name. The Flunder player was given another warning, and the second warning in the game meant that he was given a game loss, meaning Christian kind of won by default. So what do you think about that, guys?
I think it's so messed up, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's so infuriating that, like, from what I could tell, the Thunderies player, again, I don't even remember his name. It seemed like what it was he was shorthanding his searches. So he would pick up his deck, perform the search of, like, let's say a Rabina effect search for his Eaglin. He would then place his deck just face up, right? So the bottom of the deck was revealed to the opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, like, I've done this, not at a top level, but I have done this at, like, locals, and I have done this at a regional before. It's shorthand, I don't see it as necessarily giving away vital information unless there is a certain tech card or side deck card on the bottom of my deck. If my opponent is playing Floowandereeze and he goes normal summon Rabina, search Eaglin, puts deck down and shows me map, I'm not going to be like judge. Like, it feels like really, really crappy, and especially in our finals as well. Like, I understand that procedure needs to be followed, but in a scenario like this, I just feel like it was so unwarranted, and it just really sucks. Like, he doesn't even get a chance to even play.
As well, like, it only hurts him. Like, it doesn't hurt. I can't imagine how it really negatively impacts the opponent to warrant, even if he's done it multiple times. I just feel like, really, is it that deep? Like, you've shown your own deck, you've screwed your own self way more than you've screwed your opponent. I don't all by it.
It's like policy, though, isn't it? It's like they private knowledge policy is, like, really, really strict now. What gets to me is that it was game 2, so he performed the action in game 1, and then received the game loss in game 2 after he'd already lost game 1. Like, that is proper salt in the wounds.
And I think as well, that's, in my opinion, that's probably one of the big mistakes that I think the judges made. I feel as though if there's ever a point where you're actually still discussing, like, what the punishment is going to be, what's going on with this, they should have told them to stop playing at that moment. I think making them carry on to game 2 just to be told in the middle of game 2 that, oh, well, sorry, mate, you've actually got a loss now, I think that's actually quite ridiculous.
Yeah, well, isn't that like what happens? Sorry to cut you up, Dan. But, like, isn't that what happens? I know something happened to me at the UK Open, actually. My opponent is so he's playing the game, and I guess this is more like a gameplay based thing over, like, what happened here. But he shuffled in. We later find out that he shuffled in his banish pile upside down. So he starts milling cards, and half of his cards are milled upside down, right? So I call a judge immediately. Like I don't know if he's cheating. I don't care if he's cheating at this moment in time. I just want the game state to be corrected. And instead of us being able to like continue or whatever whilst they're investigating and like they've let him fix his deck or whatever, they have just like paused the game. Now, again, it's a much different issue, but I feel like you should kind of take 99% of like procedures the exact same way, right? If something is happening in that game that you need to investigate, you should be pausing that game and like either preventing other infractions or like, you know, something along those lines, just to prevent anything else from happening, potentially exacerbating things. Just like pause it there and then. But sorry for interrupting, guys.
No, it's fine. I think for me, I looked a little bit past it and I took a step back and I thought, as a whole, like, what is Konami's aim with like remote dueling? Because this to me, it doesn't give it like a good press, in a sense where it's not like it doesn't seem like a viable way to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Because of all of the teething problems, and it kind of just got exacerbated to the point where I was thinking, well, do you really want to play remote duels? Is this the best way to use like physical product? Is this another way? Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I think that's a really good point, to be honest, because when I was listening to you guys talking about that situation, I only just remembered you were talking about a remote duel YCS when you brought it up there, Jimothy. I'm a fan of remote duels. I'm not going to lie. Me and Tom met over lockdown where remote duels were happening. You know, I'd go to remote duel locals most weeks. It was good to keep in touch with the game. I understand there's a lot of people who do enjoy them for various other reasons, but at the same time, I don't think it's the optimal way to actually play Yu-Gi-Oh! And I think there's so many teething problems with it, and there's also other issues. The only thing I'm going to say on that is I didn't realise that Zodiac Barrage was a Mech Knight card.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. But
that's another thing, right? Sorry to interrupt, but this is something that kind of came up as well. Is like when you go to like in a competitive scope, when you go to these events, right? You go to like regionals, you go to even like, you know, tier 3 events like YCSs. You've got floor judges, right? Sure. And these floor judges will walk around. For those of you that haven't ever been to like a large event before, there are floor judges that walk around, typically at the top tables, and they will keep an eye on the matches that are taking place. Mainly to make sure that every player is maintaining game state, especially if you've been winning a lot of games, there is a chance that you could be going on to win that event, so they want to make sure that you're playing properly. Something that can't happen in remote duels. Like, yeah. Unless you want the constant, like, boom of, like, someone entering a Discord call whilst you're in the middle of potentially trying to navigate through, like, well, you know, M-Pen barrier statue, set one back row pass. It's very difficult board to navigate, I know.
Which may also cause technical issues with people jumping in and out of Discord calls, because I don't know if any of you guys did the remote duel YCS. It was a myth.
Yeah.
It was like... I
was going to say, over lockdown, I did participate in a few remote duel locals, and there was so many issues with regards to connection, and not even just that, like... my opponent that I played in one of the rounds actually came into my call and just kind of scoped out my deck. And I don't know if he post-sided, but he had literally the perfect counter hand for my 5-card opening hand. And I was like, I'm sure I've seen him in the call a couple of minutes ago, and
that would make me feel away in it. I'd call it, if that was me, I'd be like, "Yo, what is going on here?" So I completely get that.
That's what I mean. But there was no way to verify it because I don't know. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
For me, it was a bit of an awkward situation, and then there's connection problems as well, which are beyond your control for whatever reason. It could just be like an internet timeout or whatever, and then you have to reconnect, and then there's people questioning you whether you're cheating, and it was just a rough experience. I feel like when there's prizing on the line and you're playing in an environment where there's a lot of things that are out of your control, I just don't know. I just don't know if it's the best way. If it's a casual event, then I'm all for it. But with regards to the prizing, I'm just not sure.
I think the one thing that I'll like going back to the original nature of the drama. I think The only thing that I really have an opinion about is this. Like, I've never been in a position where I'm in the final of a YCS. I know, shocking, right? But I imagine that nerves are a huge part of it. And, you know, when you are nervous, sometimes you do naturally, you know, you may slip. Like, and that's not to say that, like, you know, people will do stuff like that on purpose and try and blame it on nerves. But, you know, we're all human in it. We get these emotions and, you know, they come out of our bodies in a physical form. But I disagree with what you said in the sense, Tom, where you said, you know, I've done that like at locals sometimes or wherever, where I've kept my deck like face side up. Like maybe it's just because I'm a real stickler. No, I don't think stickler's the right word, but maybe I think it's just because I'm pranging it. Like I don't want to get caught out for anything. But like if I'm searching my deck for whatever, my opponent's cutting it and he's going straight back down. Like, but again, I do think it was very unfair, and my heart does go out to the guy because I can't imagine how gutting that must be for him. And I'm sorry that I can't remember your name because I feel a bit rude just referring to him as my man. But like, yeah, and I don't know how I'd feel about winning the actual YCS off the back of a technicality as well, because obviously you won a YCS and you're gassed, but it must be a bit of a weird feeling. That's all I mean, really got to say about it, to be honest.
You know,
there's two ways of thinking about that as well, because there are some people who would say, "Oh, a win is a win," and there are other people who would get quite disheartened because you've worked your way up through a YCS, which is at the same time it's quite a long event to go through, and you want literally the gratification of knowing you've earned that, I guess. But
yeah, can you imagine if, like in the anime, Yugi won his final duel against Marek or whatever because Marek like dropped his deck?
Yeah, we don't talk about that when.
Can you imagine though?
Nah, we don't talk about that when
would be the
Kaiba
most
literally
based
threatened.
ending, I'm sorry.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Sorry, go on.
I was gonna say it's like you say that, but then Kaiba in the anime literally threatened to throw himself off of a building over a children's card game
all
because
kinds of mad that is, bro. That's all kinds of mad. But anyway, going back to the original point, yeah, it's just a shit situation, to be honest.
Yeah.
But let's go on to something that is a little bit more positive, because it is that festive time of year, boys and girls and anyone else listening. It is Christmas. So, you know, I've got a couple of Christmas-related questions for you guys. So, and this might be helpful for people watching as well. Not, you know what I mean? Like, maybe you're a Yu-Gi-Oh player. Maybe you've got someone in your life who's a Yu-Gi-Oh player. I'm not sure he'll be listening to this. Maybe you've just been forced to. Anyway, if someone came to one of you guys and said, my whoever plays Yu-Gi-Oh, and I'm thinking about getting them a gift, like what can I get them that they'll actually appreciate instead of just getting them a random like pack of cards or something?
Right.
What suggestions do you guys have?
I want to jump straight into this, because like my partner actually asked me this question, and there were a lot of answers that I wanted to give, but there's one thing that I think a lot of people miss out on, especially if like whoever you're buying for is like they attend locals regularly and stuff. Like accessories is like the primary thing, but specifically like the Imperium Duelist oversleeves. Yeah, doesn't have to specifically be Imperium Duelist, but like any company that sells like the really nice oversleeves, like I think that's a perfect gift for someone, because like I'm a big fan of oversleeves. Like I like more of the simpler ones. Like I'm a big fan of the KMC like character sleeves with the silver border on them. I really like them, but I also really like the old Imperium. I think it's Cherubim. You know the pink ones, like the pink and bluish ones.
Yeah, I know which ones.
They're really clean as well. But like things like that, you know, if they have a specific, you know, attribute that they like playing, you can buy loads of different attribute ones and stuff like that. Like, it's almost completely customizable to like what that person likes, and I think it's a really nice way to like add a unique touch to the deck that they're playing, and it will help them make it their own and stuff. And they're reusable. You know, a lot of people reuse their oversleeves for loads of different things, so they'll last as well.
Yeah, that's a really good answer. To be fair, I hadn't even thought about oversleeves, but accessories, yeah, such a huge one.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna talk a little bit louder just because my partner's actually walking around and Christmas is like a week away. But I actually thought about this, and I was actually thinking a personalized life point pad. I think that would be something that I'd really appreciate, especially if it's got like a little message or something on the front. Because I was walking around the other day at work, and somebody had a notepad that said on the front of it a list of people that I'd like to punch in the face. now, now I'm not by any means promoting violence, but it kind of made me giggle just to think that that's quite funny. Like imagine having that on like on a Yu-Gi-Oh pad and you put that down in front of your opponent and it just says,
or like Dex I hate or something.
Yeah, well, I cut nationals last week.
Yeah,
you're at local.
All I got was this notebook.
Is that what's going on here? Is this a subliminal message or what is this?
Just out here like block capital letters. I hate Flonderies. All my homies hate Flunder. Like.
I think that would be a really cool gift, and I think it's something that's I haven't seen. Do you get what I mean? So. I'd really appreciate something like that. So if my partner can hear me, just get me that for Christmas.
Just remember that tactical volume increase. Yeah.
So you know what's interesting? Like for Christmas, gosh, I'm about to make it very depressing. For Christmas, I never actually want anything because I feel like I'm at the age now. If I want something, I just buy it for myself.
Now you know what, I hear you.
Exactly.
I hear you, Fabs. I'm in that same position, but I think with gifts specifically for me anyway, like I don't really like a lot of gifts, but I like it when I get a gift and it's like someone's put thought into it, innit? Like that means a lot to me. If someone's just given me like, you know, a box of chocolates, it's like, yeah, cool, I got a box of chocolates, but you know, this sounds like I'm being very ungrateful in it, but like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I totally get what you mean. Like I'm in two ways with Christmas as well. It's like if people are gonna get me something for Christmas, get me something functional. Or get me something.
Not even functional in it. Like
no, but I know what you mean. Like obviously get something that like you know I'm going to enjoy and you know that you got it from the bottom of your heart, and that's like the other side of it. Like I have two ways about it. It's like you can either buy me something really sweet and really nice, or you can buy me socks and underwear, and I will love you just as much because like I need that shit. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to be bought. Obviously, you know,
it's nice.
In Jimothy's case, the personalized life point pad. I don't know if she can hear me. I'm trying to help you out, bro. But yeah, like obviously there are certain things like that are really cool. But I'm a big fan of like the more practical stuff as well.
Yeah. Sorry, Fabs, you were saying.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. So if I was to pick a certain thing though, this is very very specific, but this is to anyone who lives in Birmingham. I would actually ask for it'll be a combination of things. It'll be some sort of woolly socks. I know it doesn't seem Yu-Gi-Oh related, but as everyone...
When you go in locals... Bro, I remember you walked into locals the other day. I don't know if I've told you guys this story. Again, sorry to cut you off, Fabs, so it's brilliant. Fabs comes into locals, innit? He's got, you know them hoodies? them thick, like 6XL hoodies that have got like the blanket inside of them and whatnot. He's got like comfy joggers, like about 3 layers of socks, coming in the Crocs. Everyone's like, sheesh, my man's coming into flex. Comfy Scott going, man.
Fabs, you are my absolute idol.
Bro, he was the comfiest one in the room, I'm telling you that much for now. And he had a decent record out of it, so it pays to be comfy. But sorry, go on, bro.
But I was gonna say a lot of our Birmingham locals unfortunately are quite cold. And I'm not trying to look Dan, I'm not at you, Dan, but I am at you in a little bit. It's bare cold in Oasis. It's so cold and there's no heaters or nothing. So look, if specifically to people who go to Oasis in Birmingham, I would definitely say hook us up with some woolly socks and stuff. That would be a brilliant present. I think everyone there would love it. And then also in addition to that, I think one of the things that I find often when I'm playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Or when I want to get Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff is that with like when a new set comes out, for example, sometimes I want to have the meta card straight away, but I can't. I don't want to invest into it. I have to sell cards and stuff. So I think gift vouchers are also not too bad. Like something like an eBay gift voucher. Like I don't think it's a terrible idea. Also because it's like you can be like, oh, I'm getting you this. I don't know what card you want, but if another meta card is coming out, you can use this to buy it. So I actually think that would be quite.
I hadn't thought of that. You know, I like that. Like I'm not usually I'm not usually like a fan of vouchers, but like for something specifically like that, like. That's something that can have a lot of emotional connotation. So yeah, that's a banger. That is, Fabs.
Yeah. So
what about you?
Fabs out here thinking outside the box.
Trust me, bro.
You're a genius, man.
What about you, Nate? What are you saying?
Typically, it's going to be. I'm more of a practical person when it comes to gifts. I'd much prefer like. I think, like Tom, something I can use rather than something that's more decorative. Because mainly when you're going to locals all the time, you'll want like the obvious thing of sleeves, and that kind of thing. But I guess depending on how sentimental you want to, there are quite a lot of accessories in Yu-Gi-Oh that are on the higher end, let's say. For me, I always really appreciated the uniqueness of like special products you can get in Yu-Gi-Oh. For example, like the Amanda Lepalm deck boxes and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. They're quite. Some of them are, granted, on the expensive side, but if you want like quality products and stuff that's going to last like a really, really long time, but also gives you like, because the thing with accessories in Yu-Gi-Oh is that you can basically splash out on. Yeah, it's. It's your own individuality, basically. You can get whatever you can really think of in terms of.
It's kind of like clothes in a way, isn't it? It's a reflection of your personality to a degree.
Exactly. So if you want that bit of uniqueness and like splashing out into different things, like new playmats, new accessories, that kind of thing, that's probably the way that I would go.
To be fair, though, it doesn't even have to be like the super splash out stuff, right? Like, if you want, like, a nice, like, bespoke playmat, obviously, you know, you have, like, Amanda Lepalm's cloth mats, you've got, like, meta mats and stuff. Like, you've got loads of different cloth mat companies that do make some really nice ones, you know, shout-outs to Castle Brain Games still with their Spellgrounds, like, they're still releasing those. But you can actually just buy, like, custom rubber mats on eBay for, like, 15 quid.
There's some good ones out there as well.
Like $20, yeah. And like that was my first playmat. I bought just a custom rubber mat. It was this really like badass design of Peach from Mario, but she was like, it was like a really cool, like, watercolor style design. Nah, bro, she had the head of a Koopa in her hands. It was sick. Like she looked sick. But like that was the first mat I ever got, and I got that custom, and it cost me 15 quid. It showed up in like a week. It was great. I loved it. And you know, it just goes to show that like you can personalize your stuff, your dueling setup, as far as like literally down to the map that you play on for anything you want, even the sleeves you use as well, because you've got yourplaymat.com, I think it is. We're not sponsored, but I think it's that. Yeah, MetaMats do custom mats, but your playmat do custom sleeves.
Ooh.
Which is really cool. They're kind of expensive. I think they're about £20 a pack, and it's like a pack of 60. But like, they're really good quality. So like, if you know you're going to be using them, I'd suggest double sleeving them so that they last a bit longer. But like, you know, with custom stuff, obviously I'm talking about like the world is your oyster. You can basically put anything on a sleeve, anything on a playmat, to really like personalize your stuff. And it just goes like, and it would just go to show, especially in the concept of buying gifts, like you don't have to spend these mega bucks to like have that personalization, which is really, really cool. Something that I really like about like the Yu-Gi-Oh scene and like just card games in general is like you can spend like not a lot of money and personalize everything.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely. It's not a suggestion really, but I suppose it could be in a way. One thing that I got from my wife, you know, sorry to flex on all you Yu-Gi-Oh players out there, other than Fabs, but she texted me the one day and she was like, "Oh, what are your favorite Yu-Gi-Oh cards ever?" And I was like, "Why?" And she was like, "Oh, I just wondered." And I was like, oh, "Okay." So I reeled her off. For anyone who cares, it's Blue Eyes Toon Dragon, Wind Kribo, and Cyber Dragon, because you know I'm a sucker for nostalgia. And she was like, "Okay." And then it gets to Christmas. I'd forgotten about it by this point because it was like 2 months ago. And I opened what she's got me, and she's got me a framed print of these 3 cards next to each other for me to hang up like in my like office area. And I just thought that was like a really, obviously it's not something that's like practical or whatever, but like I just thought it was a really sweet gift. And I think it's just something that, I think it's like a gift idea as well. Maybe if you've got a partner who's into Yu-Gi-Oh, but like a little bit more casually, there's a lot of stuff you can do with it, man. So other than that, I think one of my ideas I would probably say would just be to ask them if there's any particular cards they need, or if there's a specific thing that you know they like or that they need, like that you've heard them say, "Oh, I need to get like these tokens or something." Actually, that's a good one. Shout out to Tom from our locals. His partner got him a custom-made token of some custom art, I think it was like a certain animated style art of those 2. She got custom made for him, I believe, and I thought that was dope. So there's a lot of different things, but there's some things that they ain't gonna want you to get them. So moving swiftly on, there's been a lot of product this year, isn't it? There's been a lot of product this year. Now, there's been a lot of great products. Obviously we've got Power of the Elements, Darkwing Blast, Grand Creators, Rare. But we've also actually hidden Arsenal Chapter 1s. So I'm going to put it to the table, and I'm going to let you boys duke it out. What do you reckon the worst product of this year has been?
Magnificent Mavens. I'm coming out with the hot takes in it, and this is and I am saying this purely from a gameplay standpoint. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That set, and I mean this. I think that set was the best set of the year for product, like actual product. Right? You pay what, £25? You get sleeves, really nice sleeves, better quality than what you buy separately, because I have used those things on whole decks. They do not peel, and I don't know if that's just my luck, but they do not peel. Those sleeves are amazing for quality.
Also with the double sleeving as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that too. You have some amazing reprints. Skill Drain, which needed a reprint. Cards like Ice Dragon's Prison, some old school staples. You've got like Sword Soul in there, and then it went absolutely like rock bottom because the Ishizu cards existed in it. And I think everyone here can kind of agree on, like, sigh simultaneously when I say, Ishizu tier is just, please kill it. Please take it out back.
Yeah.
First, but you know what? I think that's actually, from a game balance perspective, I think you're 100% right. Yeah, I think that.
I don't think I necessarily fully agree with that, but I think I agree with that a lot more than I thought I would when you said it. If that makes sense.
Nah, gameplay wise, it really it set a bar, and it did something to the format that, like, as a competitive player, just really sucked. But as the product stands itself, it is such a good value product for what it is, and you can get so much good stuff. Like, think about it, right? There were better reprints in that set than the Megatins, and the Megatins had a couple of the same reprints.
I don't know if I agree with that, but it's definitely on a par with them.
I mean, the pull rate on Lightning Storm was like way easier. Talents was reprinted. Evenly Matched was reprinted.
Are you talking about the cards that were cross reprinted?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not talking about that were cross reprinted, but I'm talking about like the good ones in Mavens. Like, obviously, you're gonna.
It was also like
Prosperity getting a reprint was just like so needed. The Ghost Girl reprints were cool, but this is something I also want to mention, and also one of my controversial opinions for the worst set of the year being the 2022 Megatins. Okay, yeah, you got all the hand traps. Let me just buy 3 copies of the Crystal Beast structure deck. It does the exact same thing for me.
And you get a Crystal Beast core.
Yeah, but we don't care about that.
Wow.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. I paid £30 for a playset of D-Shifter, Bell, and Ash. Like, I ain't even gonna lie.
Yeah. Like, go on.
I think straight out of the bag, Hidden Arsenal Chapter 1 was the worst product of the year by
that set was
a million miles. I literally bought one. I bought one, and I'm sure I checked my bank account, and it said stupid. Like, because I opened it, and I was like, "What is this? This is just so bad." The promo cards weren't all of that. Like, the cards actually in the set, there's probably like 1 or 2 cards that you could argue, yeah, that's pretty decent. Yeah. But it was terrible. I'm not gonna lie,
Jimothy, the Mist Worm reprint. What do you mean? Best set of 2022.
The thing is, yeah, I actually went out and bought that card just because I liked the way it looked. But then I thought, no, I'm never gonna use this. Why? Like, it's in a binder, just collecting dust. You gotta be like,
just for the sake of
that
putting
card
it
is
on
like
your
£4
wall.
or £5 on eBay now. That card is like a £5 on eBay because of Edison format, and I'm not happy about it.
Oh, actually, yeah, I didn't think about that. But then at that point, Edison weren't popping in it. So
yeah. But now
We'll
it's
do like a bit of Edison format.
Fabs, what do you think? Worst product of 2022?
I can't lie, actually, after your idea, I actually can't lie, I agree with that. I agree with Magnificent Mavens just because, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but Magnificent Mavens single-handedly made me play less Yu-Gi-Oh! So,
yeah, you know what?
Actually, I agree.
Yeah.
Well,
it's hard to think of something that's actually worse than that if I'm 100% honest. Like, yeah, it's genuinely made me be like, alright, you know what, it's not that deep. Like, let me not lie to you guys. I don't know if you guys have heard of the game Factorio, but that's where all my...
You know what's funny? While you were doing the sound check, I looked at what you were playing, and I was like, what is that? And then we started looking it up.
Bro, I'm playing it now.
man doesn't care about the podcast. He's just like, let me get up this game real quick.
I'm on DB, or I'm on Edo Pro while I'm doing it. Nah, not today, guys. I don't need. I'll just be stressed, man. I'll just be stressed getting violent.
I hear you though, bro. I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually,
However,
agree with that.
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just saying. Yeah, I definitely agree with what you said. Yeah.
Yeah. So another hot take: the 2022 Megatons.
Yeah, you know what?
Now, hear me out. Yeah. Now, hear me out. Okay. I'm going to do a quick Google search of the 2022 Megatons. Yeah. And I am just going to look at the card list, and we'll read off some of the best ones in there, and we'll see what rarity they came in. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, let's just keep going. So, Tri-Brigade kit, not necessarily a needed reprint, but it's something that, like, you know, was part of the archetype. It was a secret rare, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So we've got the Live Twin stuff, which came at Super. That's pretty okay. It's you know, it lets you get the stuff for the archetype without it being stupid expensive.
It's also in theme with the other monsters in Gem Impact being Super as well. Just
exactly.
A little bit of trivia there.
Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. Now, not a very popular card, but it was about £40 as a secret rare from Blazing Vortex. It was a secret rare. Pot of Prosperity, the card that everyone needed as a reprint because it was like, it's a borderline staple. You should have 3 in your collection, like, at all times. It was a secret rare. What else? Diviner, another card that, you know, was reaching like the £30 to £40 mark. They needed it reprinted because of a Shizu tier. You know, they were trying to make, they're just, you know, doing their job reprinting cards from older sets. It was a secret rare. What else? You've got some of the crappy secrets as well. Fafnir, like I said before, they're just trying to make Drytron more accessible. That was also a secret rare. You know, Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. What else? Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion. Can you guess what I'm going to say? That's right. They're secret rares. This set sucks so bad. And it's not because of the card list. It's because of the rarities that they put them in.
I do want to add that the majority of the sets that they reprinted were hot. Like 2021 sets mainline were just a bit like
weak compared.
Yeah, they were like a strong 4 to a light 5, like across the board.
But it's just like there were so many cards that they printed as like prismatic secret rare that just didn't need it. Like Lord of the Heavenly Prison, Incredible Ecclesia, like are 2 cards that I can just see in front of me that didn't need those reprints in Prismatic Secret because they were already secret rares in their original sets. And the whole point of like the Megatins and the way that they've done it now is to change up the rarities, give things rarity bumps that deserve it, and then give certain things rarity downgrades to make them easier to obtain. This is just a cash grab. And I really stand by that. Like this, it just felt like a cash grab, and I hated this set the moment I saw the card list.
I think Konami knew what they were doing. Sorry to cut you there. I think they knew what they was doing with regards to like the rarities. It felt very, very intentional, so to speak. Because, like, I'm with you. Like, I needed a playset of Prosperity, and I refused to pay like 60, 70, 80 pound a copy. And then when the Megatins did come, like, I didn't feel the applied discount. It felt like, wow, I'm gonna have to spend about that much on tins if I really want to pull it anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Me and Liam were talking about this from Liam from Sanctum Squad shoutouts. We were talking about the prosperity prices of the reprint, and it was the same as the original, like at one point, and it was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Like,
but it's because of how hard they were to pull. Like again, I didn't even mention like most of the other sought after reprints, right? Because you had like Lightning Storm and Droplet in the set as well, which again were both secret rares, and like all of these chase cards in the slot in the mega pack that only has like 1 rarity per pack. Because like remember they changed it. I think it was last year they changed it so that you got 2 supers and 2 ultras in a pack.
Yeah.
And like Dragoon was an ultra, right? Okay, it was still like short printed to high hell, but at least it was in a slot that you technically doubled your chance to pull it, right? Because you had 2 ultras. I kind of felt that there was a bit more suspense every time I opened a 21 mega pack, because I'm like, oh, is it the Dragoon? Oh, and also they've reprinted Dragoon as a secret rare.
All right, we get it, man. You hate this set. Let's move on.
I really don't like.
Never heard so much hate.
Edit, fucking hell. Nate, what you saying?
Sucks, man.
Hey, what are you saying?
To be honest, there's been quite a few bad sets this year.
But I think there's been more good sets than there have been bad.
Yeah, there've been some banging sets. Like I can't even begin to, like, we've already gone past Brave, and like there's been quite a lot of good sets this fall. I'm actually struggling to remember if there was any bad sets in my mind.
The Legendary Duelists series, it was okay. Like,
yeah,
it wasn't as good as the other ones were.
That was bad.
It had a Souls reprint, I guess, about a year and a half too late.
Yeah, I was going to say, like,
you're talking about the season.
Oh, yes, yeah.
I'm talking about Duelist from the Deep.
Oh no, that was ass. All of that just to get another fucking Forbidden Droplets reprint.
Do you remember literally that night?
That never made it onto the channel.
Because we pulled nothing.
Oh no.
We didn't pull anything.
That's
awful, man.
That's sad.
It was so bad that it just completely muted the chat for some reason.
Let's raise a glass for the missing Legendary Duelist box opening on the Sanctum Squad channel.
Yeah. To old friends,
Oh my god.
We're going to bring back something that we didn't do last week, but I'm sure a lot of people missed, and it was Am I the Arsehole? So
yeah, let's break it up a bit. Fabs, take the floor. 2
different ones. So the first one is a little bit more lighthearted, and it goes, Am I the arsehole for playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Differently than my friends? So, it goes, 20 years old, I don't think the years matter, so I'm not going to say the years. So I and my friends, Jaden and Jack, all play Yu-Gi-Oh! I'll cut all the fluff.
Is this man a protagonist?
I'll cut all the technical talk for more accessibility. We were playing Remote Duel, and I was about to win, but I wasn't fully sure, so I set up more monsters so I can attack and win for sure. Jaden said, just hurry up and kill me, I can't do anything. But I started setting up a large board, which added a few extra minutes. After I beat him, he got really upset and said that I didn't have to do that and I was wasting time. I explained that I wanted to make sure he would lose. We went back and forth and then he left the call. I asked Jack and he said I shouldn't have dragged out the duel like that. I don't see why he got mad like that, but Jack said I made things worse. Am I the arsehole?
Yeah, I think if you've got lethal on board, you shouldn't overcomplicate them and you should just kill them. That's pretty much all I've got to say about that.
No, I think it's entirely contextual though, because like if I'm sitting there and if I'm sitting there and I have like X amount on board, but like okay, I have 8k on board, but all my guys are like squishy and don't really do anything, and I know that I have a line to like get to a negate to like make sure that if they have like because I don't know what my opponent's playing, right? Okay, yeah, we could be playing friendlies, it could be a friend, right? But sometimes, you know, friends hold back information or whatever. And if they have cards in hand, they could literally be sitting on Gores. You know,
he was playing Jaden, wasn't he? He was probably just sitting on a fucking Grand Mole.
Sitting on an Honest Neos.
Yeah.
For goodness sake.
Tom playing around the fucking Honest Neos.
That's exactly what I mean, isn't it? Like, if I can set up a negate to make sure that my attacks go through, I'm going to do so.
Yeah, I wouldn't fully agree with Tom on this. Yeah, like if in my opinion, if you don't want to watch me combo, hey, scoop then. Like if you don't,
in it, just scoop, bro.
Just like if you're watching it, it's just like, bro, you got enough on board, just kill me. When really, scoop, you know,
bro, you're about to watch me combo for days. I'll just be comboing. Yeah,
bro. Like the more you complain, the more I combo in it. So like, keep going, and we'll sit here for another time. We'll go to time in it, and then I'll burn you a scatter shot. I don't care.
on a real, yeah. Like, my opinion is just like, yeah, scoop. Like, and the funny thing is, in a competitive tournament, for example, if it's game 1, I've absolutely smoked you. I'm only hurting myself if I carry on playing anyway, because now you get to see more of my deck, and maybe I don't get to see more of your deck. So it doesn't even really hurt you. So genuinely, I feel like. Yes.
Yeah, competitive setting. No, the guy's not an arsehole. If his mate's like a not a very competitive player, then yeah, he might be, like, I can see how his.
Like I think like if my man's got like no cards on field, no cards in hand, like, okay, I have 8k, I'm gonna kill you. Like you have no need, unless you're like playing a brand new deck and you want to go through the motions, which I also understand. I've done that a lot with my friends in testing. It's like they have literally nothing, but I'm like, I need to like remember my combo, so I'm and I asked them actually, I go like, do you mind? Shut up, Dan. But yeah, like I don't think he's the asshole unless he had like no cards in hand and on field, in which case, yeah, you are a bit of an asshole. Like, just kill him.
He's not an asshole. You know what? If that's the only game he's gonna win all night, then I'm comboing until time is called in a round. He could have had a bad day. That could have been his one win, his one moment of glory. So yeah, I'm gonna combo. I'm gonna summon all my extra deck, and I'm gonna attack for 20k damage. Like
me when I played Dark Worlds at local.
Yo, just let me summon Graph, man.
Yeah, come on, man. I want to summon Overdrive Dragon, man.
You just let me summon Gold, you get me?
Let me resolve Gates of Darkworld just one more time. I promise it will be the last.
Please let me summon Graph.
No, what were you saying, Jimothy? Sorry.
But yeah, I think he's well within his rights too. Just like Fab said, scoop in it. Like
you man are on crud.
What do you mean? Literally, if you're gonna watch me combo for 5 minutes, just scoop. You have free will.
Man,
no, I do agree with that. You know. By the way,
man said free will.
It's like a YouTube ad, isn't it? Like
you want to sit through this combo?
Fucking YouTube ad.
But you can skip the ad, innit? Like you don't have to sit there and just like endure it. So just
nah. We're on that new to YouTube 2 unskippable ads. You gotta watch me combo off into an Appaloosa.
All right, okay. So I think we're at a consensus in this one. So I'm gonna move on to the next one.
That's mad.
The next one is: am I the arsehole or being supportive? My girlfriend said she doesn't feel attractive anymore because she gained about 65 pounds. The lack of self-esteem has hindered our sex life, regardless of my insistence that it's not an issue. She goes to the gym once in a while, but doesn't seem motivated like when she used to be when we met. So I offered her an incentive. I would buy her a sexy new outfit every time she met a self-prescribed milestone, whether it be a certain number of pounds lost, dress size change, or whatever she thought appropriate. Then my head got bit off. She got upset and said she knew I wasn't happy with the weight gain and that this proved that I didn't find her attractive anymore. I thought it was a cute way to show her she will always be attractive while motivating her to get to where she wants to be. Am I the arsehole here?
I think, sorry to just jump in here straight off the gun. I think the intent was there to do something nice to try and help, but you just fucked it in it, bro. Like you shouldn't have gone with that direction. Yeah, I think
that's the thing in it. Like I feel like this might not be with all women, but especially with my partner, like you just don't mention it. And it, like,
that's not even inclusive to women in it. Like everyone,
no, anyone.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'll give you this. So, in terms of that, it's the partner was trying to do something. Like the thought was, as you were saying, that the thought was there. Yeah. However, the way that you carried it out may have felt like you were poking fun at your partner's.
And I think specifically because, and I think specifically that would be drawn out because he said, "Oh, I'll buy you like a nice, sexy outfit." I don't know about you in it, but maybe it's just I don't know. But if that was me, I'd be like, "Rah, so you're basically telling me to work so you can fuck me? Fuck that, bro!" Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm doing this for me, not you. If my man had turned around to her and said, "Okay, like you've told me you're having, you're struggling with this. Like, what? How can I help you in it?" Like that's different in it. You've made the conscious effort to, say if you don't want my support, fine. But if you do, I'm here in it. Like
sometimes take the initiative, but the other times just have a sit down and talk. Because at the end of the day, like, if you want to help out, just ask her.
Asshole, but I do think he's a mug.
I was about you took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah, that's the thing,
bro. What did you think was gonna happen? Did you think she was gonna be, oh yeah, goody? Like what's wrong with you, bro? Like
I don't think he's an arsehole, but I think he needed to like change.
Yeah, he's not an arsehole, but he's a dickhead.
You know what? I if I was in her shoes, I understand where she's coming from, and it would warrant some conversation because I'm just thinking about it in Yu-Gi-Oh terms. Like I play some random decks. And someone's turned around to me and said, "What? Why are you playing that trash?"
Yeah.
And I feel like flipping the table. Like, But
I like how you
realistically,
brought that around,
they're trying to help, but it's just a bit misguided. You got what I mean? So there was a better way around it, and to me, that just sounded like a trap anyway. Like no matter what he did in that situation, unless he spoke to her, he's setting himself up.
Yeah, and
it's a techie one for sure.
Yeah. It's an unfortunate reality because, unfortunately, there is this kind of toxic mentality nowadays that it's like you can't really say certain things that have to be said, but it's also apply wisdom, bro. You're not a baby. Like what the heck? Like you really.
I think if it sorry, Fabs, go on.
No, I was just saying. Yeah, he knows it's not going to go well, but sorry, carry on, Daniel.
No, I was basically just going to say that I agreed with you. Like if someone's having an issue with something that can be quite mentally damaging, like let's not lie. I've had issues with my weight in the past. But when you're dealing with something like that, you gotta handle it, like, because you don't know why she's gaining weight, innit? You don't know what kind of trauma's been happening in her life. Like, it may not just be a case that she's just been slacking off a bit. I mean, she could have been going through X, Y, and Z in it. And if you were turning around to her and being like, "Oh, you should," basically what you're saying is look good for me in it. That's what I got from that situation. Fuck that mentality, bro. Look good for yourself.
The thing
not anyone else.
I don't have any problem with that mentality in and of itself because, for example, I'm in a relationship with you. I should try and look good for you because I'm in a relationship with you. But I think it's just the way he did it wasn't smart. He shouldn't tie it to her insecurity. That's
not at all. Not at all. So are we in just general consensus then? He's not an arsehole, but he's just a fool.
Yeah.
This guy
needs to watch his mouth, basically.
Yeah. He's been acting far too silly.
Just buy her lingerie in the future. Like, just calm. You don't need to attach it to anything. I don't know. Maybe I'm assuming you're attracted to her. Just buy her some sexy outfits and then shag her in it. Like, don't overcomplicate the thing. Like, what the heck?
Yeah. So on that alpha male mindset there.
We're overcomplicating it. Anyway.
Yeah, bro. Go chase that tail. Let's go.
Good lord.
Go dig that hole. It's all good.
Yeah. Running up that hill, innit?
Oh, shut up.
Right, yeah. So let's go on to with Christmas comes New Year's, innit? And I was thinking about this. Has anyone got any New Year's resolutions specifically to Yu-Gi-Oh they wanted to talk about?
Oh yeah, I got bear, bro. Actually, I say I got bear. I've got two.
Okay.
I've got one.
The first one is I didn't think it was a good idea, and I don't even know if they still do the map. But my plan is hopefully to do the Ordeal of a Traveler next year.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's my plan. Now, it's also a bit technical for me because I don't know if you guys know, but I'm actually very, very scared of flying. I
didn't know that about you.
Yeah, I've always been scared of heights because just how I am, and yeah, I'm terrified of flying. But so, like, for example, a lot of it, I'm gonna try and avoid flying when I can, but I'm definitely gonna have to do some flights. So that's one of them for me. I'm definitely trying to hit all of the spots. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, I don't know if they still do Ordeal of a Traveler because they might have stopped it because of COVID, but
I think they still do it. But Ordeal of the Traveler, I think, will be more of a thing this year because, obviously we have less restrictions now for traveling. So I think it should still be on. But it may also be the case that we might not get some events being held this year because I think they were having issues with trying to hold YCS London this year because I know they were having issues with it this year because they couldn't get the amount, or they were having like some issues because of Brexit. So
I didn't even know that Ordeal of the Traveller was a UK thing. To be honest, I thought it was just a US only.
No, it's a Europe thing.
It's a Europe
is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's going to all European events in the year. But it's like, I think it's European YCSs. It's not like, obviously it's not nationals because you can only actually play one nationals a year.
It's like tier 1 and above in it, like just going to.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be
fair enough, man. That's a good New Year's resolution, to be fair, Fabs. Because I like that because it means you see more of the world, and that's always a good thing.
Yeah, definitely. And
yeah. See, that's not part of my New Year's resolution, but I definitely want to be going to more like European events. Mine is to just be a less salty individual. Like, I just need less sodium in my life, basically.
Yeah, to be fair, like I remember we were testing the other night, and you got so raging when I asked you to remind me what time Thief Redo did.
No, that's just a meme.
Wasn't funny, bro.
No, it was.
It was mad. It was a mad
I was also in the call, and that was
a madness.
Nah, in all seriousness, though, like there are certain times where I do just get like mad salty when playing, and it's something that just like it's an uncontrollable rage that plagues me to this day.
That gamer rage, innit?
Yeah, basically, innit? It's just too much Mountain Dew and too many Doritos. I need to get a new gaming chair. No, in all seriousness though, it's something that like just stems from like a personality trait that isn't good. Like it's a very very toxic personality trait, and it's something that I want to improve on personally. And I just need to take like the appropriate steps to do so, like rationalize things in my head more than just going, that person is better than me, I don't like that, and then like kind of cry about it. Or when you get sacked like super hard in a game, or when you ask your friend to play a friendly duel whilst you test Tri-Lyrilusk, and they flip skill drain on you, and then they summon Chaos Hunter in a format without Kashtira. Yeah, that's very, very much fun testing, isn't it, Dan?
That person sounds like a dick, Tom. You should put them out.
They are a dick. It's you.
One thing I was saying about the Chaos Hunter, we were playing on Edo Pro, and on Edo Pro, Bearman, I'm running around playing Kashtira, and I've got OCG cards in my deck list at the moment because I'm testing for the new format. So that was the reason Chaos Hunter was in there. That's my
I'm playing TCG, bruv.
I said to you before the call in it, I didn't know what you were playing. You this is semantics anyway. This is semantics.
This is the same. We've had this type of conversation beforehand, because it would be we would try different decks and stuff when we were testing.
Yeah,
and then
it doesn't matter either way, innit? Like
you still
we get into the semantics of things. Long story short, like I need to. I want to be like less salty and like a less,
just more level-headed, innit?
Yeah. That's the way it be. More positive.
That's a good one, man. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Just a more level-headed individual.
I like that.
So mine this year, going into the next year, is I know this is a bit like anti Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, but I want to try and see if I can play a little bit less. The reason, and then there is a reason for that being, throughout my life, Yu-Gi-Oh has always been sort of like, I want to say it's like a coping mechanism. So whenever something was going wrong, I would always fall back on that. And over like the last year and a half, I've just been solidly just pumping all of my emotions, ambitions, and that kind of thing into the game. And although that's been great, and I've seen like quite a lot of success over the last like year and a half, it's pushed me away from achieving the other goals that I have in life. Like I've wanted to do music again for quite some time now, and I feel like because I was solely focused into doing card games, I haven't been able to fully pursue that properly. And so I think it'll be the case that I'll see myself playing less to focus on other goals.
I like it.
Fair enough.
I think that's a very mature mindset to have, because I think, again, at the end of the day, and I think we said this ages ago in a show, that it is just a game. Like,
yeah, exactly.
If stuff in your life is flopping because of Yu-Gi-Oh, it's like, yeah, it's good to kind of have the realization that it's not that deep. Let me focus on something else instead. So yeah, I think that's a really mature mindset to have.
Exactly, and I think that's the biggest thing that I've realized over this last like few months as well, and that's changed my mindset about the game, is that I've started taking it less seriously, and I've stopped being some players would get angry about results and stuff like that, and I can understand that, because I've done the exact same thing where I've been really, really annoyed about like a locals result or something, and I'll get really angry. I used to get really angry at myself, but then I realized at the end of the day, I've come here to chill with some mates. I've come here to have a good time, and that's the only thing you can really hope for.
Yeah, definitely.
I think I've got a couple of resolutions. The first one is I need to try and make it to more locals, even though I think I was talking to you earlier, Dan, like locals for me isn't local. Like I'm traveling like 40 minutes. That's without traffic to get to local. So that's one thing. And the second thing is to actually finish off my staples collection, because there's cards that I'm using that I know aren't good enough, but I'm still using them because I'm still refusing to trade away some of the cards that I don't necessarily use to get staples. Like Forbidden Chalice is good, but it's not Forbidden Droplets. So I need to just sort that out, and I think that's what I'm gonna kind of focus on going forward. Just making sure I've got the strong, powerful staples to be able to kind of lean on them when I need to. So yeah.
Looking to downsize your collection, then, is it, Jimmy? Or
kind of. I'll be honest. I like janky decks, but I also like being competitive. So I'm on a bit of a fine line when it comes to like decks and like my collection. But where I can, I will. But yeah, the staples is definitely a priority now. So I'm gonna get that sorted, and then I can look at my collection and see whether or not it can maintain its status or potentially even expand. So we'll see.
That's a really good one to have, I think, actually, and I think it's something that a lot of people kind of I don't think fall into the trap's the right way of saying it, but like, you know, they end up like not getting staples, and then you find yourself needing them in it, and it's just like so you gotta have them in it, like
exactly.
Yeah. What about you, folks? What are you on? You did audio of Traveller. My bad. Sorry, I got really invested in Nate's thing. Actually, that was a really really interesting way of looking at it. I really like that. I don't think I have any really. I think my only one of my resolutions for Yu-Gi-Oh is to just try and stick to a deck as long as possible, because I firmly believe that the longer you play a deck, the better you'll get at it. And my other New Year's resolution is just to go nuts vibe.
Okay.
So like just chill ones in it. Like nothing too mad. Oh, and also just to do more stuff outside of Yu-Gi-Oh that is Yu-Gi-Oh, like stuff like this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Oh, actually, sorry. I've got one more resolution. I've made it the promise like 12 times to people on my channel. I will try and commit to an upload schedule.
In fairness, with the podcast, like I've been getting on you about that. To be fair,
having someone like Dan around is very, very, very helpful for someone like me. Because left to me, guys, there would have been like 3 episodes, maybe like in the next 2 or 3 years. But like with Dan, it's quite good. Dan's odd job reminded me, and if I get reminded, if I get reminded of it, if I don't get reminded, I'll forget, bro. Like, do you know
what it is? Like, I always feel worried in it. Like when I'm talking about like the podcast idea stuff. Like I don't want to step on your toes in it, because like, I know it's your channel, and I don't want to like just come in thinking that I missed a really big bollocks or whatever. But
I'm literally never every time I get reminded, I'm like, oh, I'm so happy you reminded me, because like, I was gonna do that shit. I forgot. Like I was
good. Yeah.
It got to like. I don't know, got to like 7:30, and I was about to go Five Guys with some mates, and then it's like that's when I looked at my phone and I was like, oh yeah, I've got the podcast there. I was like, guys, sorry, that can't work. So like, yeah, like it's definitely very helpful. But yeah, guys, I'll try and commit to an upload schedule. I know some people in the Dark Lord Discord that still watch this podcast. I know I promised you guys there was going to be part 2 of my Dark Lords support report thing. Let me not lie, it's not coming, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry, it's not coming. Yeah.
All right, the honesty.
But okay, so, guys, to round off this episode, look, it's Christmas. We're gonna have our Would You Rather. Now, usually, it's quite gross and disgusting, and you guys will be pleased to know that it will still be gross and disgusting, because
hell yeah,
but
these sorts of things. So, oh, actually, before I do that, does anyone have anything they want to hit on before I go straight into it?
I know. I'm good. I'm ready for the gross and disgusting.
So, this question has actually asked me. This one, I'll say it's not too gross and disgusting, but my answer is going to be quite wild. But essentially, the question is this: if you could commit one crime, and by committing this crime, once you've committed this crime once, it can never happen again, what crime would you commit?
No. Man, this question's too... You know what, actually? I don't have a specific idea, but you know them crimes that like they don't really hurt anyone like physically, but it's like more like the emotional damage, like like things like stolen identities and stuff like that. I'd do that. Yeah, because you're not hurting anyone like emotionally, and yeah, I mean you are hurting someone emotionally, not hurting anyone physically. And yeah, you know what, it is a bit of a tame answer, but it's such a big crime, isn't it? Like I think that's genuinely what I'd do, because I ain't got it in me to do any badness like that. Do you know what I mean?
I think everyone's real answer is a bit too NSFW for YouTube, regardless, and but like
my time hasn't come yet, so don't worry. But anyway,
I think I would scam an old lady.
Yeah, do you know what, actually,
I would do like a money. I would like do like a money laundering scam in it. Pretend to be Amazon to these old ladies, because like it means I would stop getting the calls. And you know how heartbreaking it is in it when like you know ma'am gets her pension and like you get a call like 2 days later like, oh, I've had to spend all my pension because you know the lovely man at the bank called me and said that someone's you know like done this, that, and the other, and I've had to pay him money to sort it out. And then you're like, that's a scam, and you feel so bad for like
that's
your
That's
grandparents.
the kind of thing that I was trying to get at, Tom. I think, but you just worded it better.
Yeah, like it's peak. Like obviously there are other things, like other unspeakable things that like you would never wish to happen ever. And I think we all know what I'm talking about, and I won't like actually define it.
Yeah,
there's those things, but you've got to also think of the moral consequences, right? Because if in my head I've performed certain actions, you then have to live with that. Yes, granted, the crime technically doesn't exist anymore, but you live with that yourself, and it's whether or not you can live with that. It's like the weird moral like dilemma, right? It's like how far are you willing to go personally to save other people? It's weird.
I feel like you guys have thought deeply about this. I'll be honest, like when Fabs obviously read out the question, the first thing that came to mind was remote deals. All right, so basically, if I had to commit this crime, this is what would happen. I would get the guy who tried to accuse me of cheating. I'd get his IP address. I'd find out where he lives. I'd break into his house. I'd steal his playmat, and then I would defecate on it and then push it through his letterbox. So that's just me, and I would feel no way about doing it.
That's a banging answer. That is.
The thing is, though, is you know Jimothy's serious because he used the word defecate and not shit. You're talking about us thinking this through. I think you thought that whole thing through just a little bit too much.
Just
That's a banging answer.
Defecate on his playmat stuff.
I don't even know what crime that would come under. I guess public indecency.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, there's like 4 crimes in one, right?
Yeah, actually, that's a good answer.
Because there's like cybercrime. There's obviously like the cybercrime. You've got like the breaking and entering, the burglary because he's stolen the playmat,
and then like the harassment. You've actually batted this, you know, Jimothy.
Jimothy solved it. He's solved crime. Like it's over.
Oh my god.
Deary me.
Nathan, what about you, bro?
Oh, me.
He was just thinking about his answer.
Yeah, to be honest, because it's it's quite a scary one, but because like, I'd actually have to say, because it's happened in my area quite a bit.
You know, to say what it is, innit? If you know, in terms of like,
no, it's fine. It's like for me, it would be home invasion because like there's been quite a lot of cases around like that around mine, and I know it's one of the scariest things to like have everything you've kind of worked so hard for just taken away at like an instant. So I think, yeah, you know,
no, that's fair. You know, jump in someone's home, steal their TV,
jump in someone's home, steal their binder, run out.
Yeah,
or in Jimothy's case, you steal their playmat and then defecate on
it. I'm gonna.
You and Jimothy are doing up GTA, man. What are you saying, Fabs? What's your unspeakable act?
Everyone's being so moral and stuff, which is unfortunately I'm not like that, guys, as you guys know. So look, there are 2 answers to this question, and
obviously there is in it. Like obviously there's 2 answers. Let me not lie.
Yeah, but what I would say is, okay, I can't lie. For me personally, it would probably just be murder, just because it would be.
Say that again. Sorry, you cut out.
It would be murder or terrorism, and just I feel as though there are some people I feel like I could probably kill and not. And I would be okay. Like, for example, if...
You were at church 3 hours ago.
I know, right? It's quite bad. If, for example, I could get in a room with Putin,
Oh yeah, that's fair enough.
I would sleep fine after whatever happens in that room. So, for me,
I suppose because there's some bad people in the world, isn't it?
Yeah, so it would be hard for you. It would be hard for me to be that worried about what happens after. So I think that would probably be my answer. Like, there was a really good answer.
Now,
carry on. Tom, ask the question.
I was going to say, let me play devil's advocate with that, yeah? Because you say you'd be able to sleep easy. Now, you are ending someone. You are game overing them. You are getting the victory royale upon them. I don't want to use the appropriate phrasing, right? That is a major psychological impact. Like, we think about it and you're like, yeah, I could do that and be totally fine. I could sleep. But realistically, you are, it's not like you've done it in passing. You are actively performing this act on someone, watching them game end, so to speak. That's massive. And it's like, can you live with you really think you'd be able to live with yourself after that?
And I think
even if it was like an actual criminal, like a known criminal doing something unspeakable, you could still live with that.
Yeah, and I do. And I think the reason being is just my philosophy on things. Like, my philosophy on things usually is a case of that I do believe in the greater good, and I do believe in the concept that there are some things that, for example, so I actually think Putin's a bad example because I don't think killing him would solve the problem in Ukraine. So I think he's a bad example. But I'll use another random example, like the 9/11 terrorists, just before they were about to get on the plane, for example. I do genuinely believe that if killing them, that's what I'm saying, because remember in this scenario as well, you kill them, you stop something bad happening, and then also you stop anyone else killing again. I really feel as though, yeah, like I don't see it in my heart like I've really destroyed human life. I see it as no, it's a net positive, and I do genuinely believe in the idea that there is a greater good and that there is some things are worth it. Yeah, I mean, if we ever get into a discussion on the show, you guys will know that.
I think I get where both of you are coming from there. Like, I'm very much like you, Simeon. Like, I wouldn't class myself to be religious, but I do believe in a higher power. Define that however you will. But at the same time, I do think the psychological damage of it, like, that is something that has to be taken into perspective, which is why I'd like to throw in my other answer, which I don't know if it is a crime, but it should be walking slow.
No, I changed that. It's not walking slow, it's driving slow. When you're in a 60 mile an hour area, and then you have someone doing 30 in front of you, open roads, no way is pushing down on the accelerator, and you're having to stay behind this.
You know what? Actually, I think a serious answer for that, another serious answer for that would be if I could know exactly where I was going and know that nobody else would be hurt. Like, if I planned this out in it, drink driving.
Oh, that would be. I mean, yeah, you solve it just by you get outside your house. You do literally 5 seconds. You've solved it. You don't even need to do anything too risky.
Yeah,
it's fine. Just get out, down half a bottle of JD, and then you're fine.
Yeah, just drive into a wall. Just make sure your airbag's locked on it. You can't. This is not a condone.
Jokingly.
If you drink and drive, fuck you in it. But
court case soon, guys. Don't worry. We But yeah, right, guys. So look, that was the end of our Christmas episode. Thank you all for watching. Now, this is what I want you guys to do if you haven't done it already. Go to Sanctum Squad. Subscribe. Then after you've gone to Sanctum Squad, go to Jimothy YGO and subscribe. And then after you've done that, look at the video that you came from initially and then subscribe to that channel as well. If you guys do that, look, everyone here, I'm telling you now, you would have fulfilled all of their Christmas dreams. Yeah, I'm sure.
It's true.
Here, all they ever think about is you specifically, you person who's listening right now, subscribing. So, look, guys, please do that for us. Set us up nicely for the new year. And we will talk to you guys soon. The next episode is TBC. But don't worry, we've got Daniel on the case to make sure that it will come promptly. So, yeah, if we don't chat again, see you all in the new year. And
happy holidays.
Peace out. Have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much to Jimothy and Tom. Thank you very much for Jimothy and Tom for joining us. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, one love. Don't summon Barry's statue in 2023.
You're very welcome. Have a very Merry Christmas. Don't buy MP22.
Have a good New Year, guys, and also have a great Christmas.
Yeah, have a great Christmas, ladies and gents, and we'll see you on the flip side.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.